council is closed. I'll call the regular council meeting for August 28, 2023 to order. Everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilperson Massa. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we'll do roll call one more time. Councilperson Bradley? Here. Councilperson Kemfer? Here. Councilperson Ginnever?
Here.
Councilperson Fisher? Here. Councilperson Schomburg? Councilperson Winkleman? Here. And Councilperson Massa? Here. All right. I'll give you a moment to look at the agenda, and then I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda for the council meeting for August 28, 2023.
I move to approve the agenda for August 28, 2023.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Madam Clerk, has the agenda been posted, dated, and signed? Thank you, ma'am. Moving on to the minutes. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes from July 24th, 2023, when you guys have a moment to look through them.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes. Second.
All right. I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Moving on to public comment. Mr. Glazer, if you can approach, sir, you'll have the floor. Absolutely.
Good evening. Mr. Mayor, I'd like to approach the council members for our...
Absolutely.
So I could pass out a handout.
Thank you, sir. Absolutely.
Okay. My name is Larry Glazer. I'm the CEO and owner of Crown Plastics. I'd like to thank the mayor, the city council members, and Jason Eisweiss for inviting me here this evening to speak. For your convenience, I've passed out an informative handout to introduce who Crown Plastics is and to share our concerns with the future development of the James Hardie site. Crown Plastic has been an active business in Crystal City community since 1992. Our location is 918 Airport Road and a direct neighbor to the future James Hardie development. Y'all hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Good. Our factory runs 24 hours a day, Monday through Thursday, with a single shift on Friday. Current employment is 27 fine individuals. Crown has two sister companies, which are Interglobal and Crown Platt and Wave Lighting. They're located in St. Louis, Missouri. They're under one roof there at 160,000 square feet, and jointly we have 50 additional staff there. Crown, just to let everyone know, is the primary supplier of all components for their lighting fixture production. Together, our products service the multifamily, hospitality, commercial, and industrial markets. Just give me a little bit of history on Crown, then I'll get to the meat. Crown specializes in manufacturing lighting globes, acorns, and special shapes. We have roughly 15 machines in our facility, which is about 70,000 square feet, which have injection molding, automatic, semi-automatic, and manual blow molding capabilities, extruded blow molding, vacuum forming, cut sheet, and routing. It's quite an amazing factory, to be quite honest with you. It's what we do. It's taken a long time for us to develop what we have over 32 years here in the Crystal City area, and we want to continue being here. Crown has two notable projects taking place, one in Chicago and one in Washington, D.C. right now. If you turn to page 2 of the handout, you'll see what the final product is. We're not selling the fixture, we're selling the acorn. And currently up in Washington, they're relighting 18,000 fixtures throughout the area. It's going to be about a 2-year project for us. We've been doing the Chicago project for 2 years, and it's going to take about another 3 years. So it's been very, very good to have.
When you say the acorn, what
That's it.
component of it is the bulb or
Yeah.
the lamp?
So if you're coming down, what's that city?
Yeah.
Bailey? If you're coming down Bailey, all those fixtures down,
Or crown question?
those are crown fixtures on top.
Oh, that's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah, no, that's us. Okay, now I've made you aware of who we are. Now what I want to do, I want to inform you about our concerns concerning the James Hardy development. I want to make it perfectly clear here. We're in favor of this development. It's going to be a huge win for the community, and just needs to be managed right, especially for us. If you could go on the back page of that brochure, you'll see a visual of showing our building in the adjacent airport, and that we directly run parallel to the property. I've had several meetings with Jason Eisenbeis concerning the future development of the Hardy site and our concerns. And he said, why don't you come and talk to the council? Let them know your concerns too. And so I appreciate this opportunity to speak again. It's repetitive, but it's the truth. On the back page, you'll see an extruded vision. Basically it's an explosion view of the property and the proximity to the Hardy property. We're like joined at the hip, the way it is. So on parts of the way the Crown property works versus the Hardy property, we're within inches of each other at one point. And that, when I say inches, like next to our building. So moving forward, we have use of an access road. You'll see the diagram where you see Airport Road, and then you'll see an arrow taking to an access road. Okay, we've been using that access road since 1992 and maintaining it. It was the only entry to the closed Festus landfill. The access road is a vital link for the west side of our building. It allows access for our inbound and outbound shipments, access to a fire hydrant, and access to the back of our building. Without the use of this access road, it would create a situation that would probably force the plant to close. Prior to the announcement of the Hardy development, we were in plans to build an addition to our building. Since the announcement, we have put the expansion on hold until an agreement can be reached with the Hardy group. We've had minimal discussions with them. It's still pretty darn quiet on their side, but we're knocking as loud as we can to let them understand that before any plans are approved, that access road is really important to us. Without it, we're probably doomed. So with the Hardy development going and the plans to build the building, of course, we put it on hold. And we definitely need the space. We're really crowded there. We could use an extra 15 to 20,000 feet. And we have the land to do it. It works, but without the access road, it's not going to work. If we can't come to an agreement with the Hardy company, we're going to have to go through the courts and try to get a prescriptive easement. And unfortunately, I hope that doesn't come to that. Hopefully we can mutually agree to be good neighbors and everybody work together. Additional concerns we have with the future development is the waste lagoon, which is our sewer. That lagoon services not only our building, but the outbuildings at the airport. I understand that those buildings, they want to keep those buildings. So they're going to have to run sewer service to that, and we just want to make sure we get our own hookup. From what I've been told with discussions, that will take place, but it's still a concern of ours. Airport Road expansion, we can't afford for that road to ever be closed for us, because then we don't get to work and our shipments don't get out, or inbound receipts do not make it in. utilities, water, electric, natural gas are all vital for our building and our daily operations. So without any of those, it's going to be total disruption and detrimental to our building and to our operation. When the development begins, we want to be kept in the loop for planned construction so we're not blindsided. What I mean blindsided is closure of the airport road, disconnection of any utility, all that would be damaging. We just feel if we're being a small company like we are, we're able to pivot. We have very good vendor partners. We have another building in St. Louis, so we could maybe move shipments around, be able to shut down for a couple of days, come in on the weekends. So we're going to be flexible during this development, but we just want to be part of the conversations and not be on the outside. We've even, when the Hardy Group came in, we offered them to be able to come in and use our conference room, bathrooms, et cetera, until their setup becomes better. Haven't heard back, but they offered, we offered the fig leaf. Basically, we wish to be a good neighbor with this future development. We ask the City Council to take our concerns seriously so our company, its employees, and customers will not be disrupted during the construction. I'm not here to disrupt it to the development. I'm here to make sure you're aware the development does not disrupt Crown's ability to operate. Thank you very much.
Do you have time for a few questions, Larry?
Absolutely.
Where's the plant in St. Louis? Is it the Westport area?
No,
Oh.
it's in the U-City Loop area.
Okay. Do you know, the reason I ask is because in 1974, I made light fixtures just like this at a plant, and I thought it was in the Westport area.
Crown Plastics used to be located in Westport.
Okay.
So you're going back to like two other ownership groups.
I might know who this,
Showing your age.
who's this guy in the picture? I might even know him.
Oh, that's Brandon.
Raymond?
That's Brandon's name. Know that.
Okay.
I know that.
Has he been with the company for a long time?
Forever.
Okay.
I just forgot his name.
I remember some,
Daryl?
does he tell a lot of dirty jokes? Okay.
Perfect.
Let me introduce him.
Yeah.
Forrest Montgomery, he's a plant manager. He's been there since about 2000.
All right.
Jeremy Rando's operations and engineering, he was born there.
Oh, no kidding.
Perfect.
I'll be
So
darned.
my support today.
Okay.
Oh, that's funny.
You know, when they were in Westport, they were doing rotational molding.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't do rotational molding anymore. It's all injection.
Wow. You're part of the reason why I decided I wanted to get a desk job for the rest of my life. That was one of the hardest jobs I ever had. You had to
Oh,
cut
you worked in the plant?
Yeah, you had to cut those, well, they came off the molds in halves, right?
Yeah, right.
And then you would have to take those big old balls, walk up to a rotating sand, a disc, and hold those balls in front of it, and it would just throw you around. Every once in a while, it would just throw you about halfway across the plant.
I hate to tell you this, we still have that set.
Do you really? And I wanted to ask you some real questions, though. So,
Yeah.
the sewer, that's across Airport Road from you, right? Yeah, and we've had problems with that before, right? I think we accidentally collapsed it like a few years ago. Yeah. And it's okay now, right? Okay. But you haven't heard any issues of anybody wanting to get rid of that, right? Or maybe we can hook you into the sewers somehow? Is that what?
That's the plan. That's
Okay.
the plan, is to hook us up into that.
Okay. And that access road, whose property is that actually
That
on?
belongs to Hardy.
Okay, so
That
it's,
was part of Kennedy's property.
okay. And you have a legal easement on it right now? Or it's just been kind of a,
It's been open ever since we moved there.
okay.
At one time, nobody even knew who owned it. And, then we had the land, marked out, and it was not on us. But we've been maintaining it. Prior to Festus Airport owning it, and then Jim Kennedy owning it, and then Hardy owning it,
Yeah.
we've maintained that road forever.
Okay.
Bringing in new rock every year, sometimes twice a year,
All right.
and keeping it graded.
And that fence that's there, is it, I'm sorry,
That's a
go
temporary
ahead,
fence
go
that
ahead.
Larry Goodwin put in when they, after they closed out.
not on, just.
No, they kept it away from the road.
Gotcha. And no, as he said, no, right away, no easement of any kind to get back to the Festus Was that the sewer?
That was the landfill.
The landfill?
I thought there was an easement at one time, but we haven't seen it yet.
And I guess your extra property is behind your building?
That is
down
correct.
that road, okay.
So if you expand, it would be to the south, right?
It'd be total south, right?
Okay, all right. Yeah, that's all the questions I had. But boy, you sure tweaked my memory. I knew you guys were there the whole,
Plant tour to remember deja vu.
oh, okay.
Hey, well, a couple of us might make it down there. Does anybody else have any questions?
I've known about you guys being there since I've been here, and I've been here about 20 years, but I didn't know that you made these globes, so it's kind of, okay, that's all I got.
Thank you, Mr. Glazer.
Thank you.
Have a good evening. All right, moving on, check register, bills, financial reports. It's in your packet. I'll entertain a motion to approve the check register and bills. I would like you guys to look at, the use tax. Came in this time. Amazon finally started paying their share. Some of it's back to April. You're gonna see a large number. It's $49,000 just for that month. We were anticipating and trying to get to 25,000 a month, right, Jason? And that's what we originally thought it would. We're still gonna need a year time. Maybe a year's not even enough to get an average of what that use tax brings in, because when I read the report, we're getting paid from April still, so they're backdating. So
Wow.
even though we got a large chunk this month, that might not be status quo moving forward, but it's going in the right direction for sure. And
It could be status quo.
it could be, but we
May, next month, and then.
You're definitely gonna have time to get an average.
we just need time for an average, and but yeah, I hope. That's a fantastic, and the citizens voted that through, and that's a great asset to have there. All the other income on the sales tax were pretty much flat, I mean, within a couple $100 of each other.
Make a motion to approve.
All right, I have a motion and a second, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Committee reports, they're in your packet. Mr. Turner, information, I don't have any questions for you. I just read your name. Don't know why I did that. But Mr. Turner's here, Chief is back there if you guys have any questions. Mr. Sullivan is there.
Oh, how's Culver's doing, Mr., how's it going? Sullivan, thank you. I want to call you Robert.
Landscaping work right now to finish up landscaping, and they're still waiting on a Knox box, which is a key box for the fire department to be able to have access, rather than smash the front door if they need to get in. We're still waiting on it. There was a shipping issue in Arizona and FedEx, so, they're waiting on that. That's really the only two items left. And, if you've been by there every day, there's lines around the building, so, doing very well.
Yeah, great. And they're happy with this, I suppose?
Yes, and, the traffic even, there's concerns about turning left, but the way they designed that parking lot to work, people are able to go through that drive-through and then make a left, no different than you would at the bank next door, so things are working pretty well there.
I drove through the other day and talked to the owner, and he's very happy, just happy with how busy it is and everything. And once they get the landscape done, he said he'll have a ribbon cutting and everything moving forward from there, so. ADA ramps, Turner, those are all moving along pretty good in that side of town.
We've come into just, which I knew we would, coming across old storm infrastructure, stormwater, but going good. This new company, first time we've used them, and I tell you what, they're there every day, and they work all day long, so they should be way ahead of schedule on their 60-day deadline.
Yeah, you guys did real good through the heat too, like our guys did good
We
doing,
did
so.
come in early a few days to beat the heat, because concrete trucks weren't delivering past 9 o'clock, so we did come in at 5:30 a couple days this past week, so, but everybody did good. Water department came in, put 6 meters in this week, so, our last week during the heat, so.
Perfect,
Everybody stayed busy.
thank you. Anybody else have any questions for any of the department heads? All right. Moving on, council liaison reports. Mr. Fisher, Library School Board.
I don't have anything new for that.
Park Board, is Councilperson Schoenberg. Parks, I'll speak for her. The park's moving along good. The pool's doing the best it's ever done. And, they will be doing a movie in the park for Twin City Days, I believe. All that packet will be on the Chamber of Commerce website, I believe. So the park is really starting to, I think they got a baby crawling contest back in our park. Maybe I'll go there and learn how to speak. But we're moving right along, so it's going nice. Oh, yep, that was on my notes. Hickey White, it was on my mayor's thing. Blueprints are in. They're waiting on Ameren UE, one little thing for the contract, but they got the preliminary blueprints, and then they're gonna be going out for bid, so hopefully groundbreaking spring. So there should be progress on that, and we'll keep updates on there. So, all right. P&Z, we have anything for P&Z, Mr. Sullivan? We didn't have a meeting this month, so. All right. Zoning appeals, Councilperson Ginevra?
I don't have anything, we have nothing planned, right?
Nothing for us, no.
Perfect. And Levy Commission, Mr. Kempfer. All right. Moves us on to public response. Public response needs to be related to anything on the previous meeting. Does anyone in the audience wish to speak on anything related to the previous council on July 24th? All right. Old business? We have none. New business? We have none. That moves us into ordinances and resolutions. This is going to take a bit. So I do want to reiterate on ordinance, when we get to 1917, this one is separate out of the pack because it got changed. Some verbiage in there got changed. So we are on ordinance 1916-2023. I'll entertain a motion to read the bill. All of them except the resolution, and the resolution is just, we're talking about it, there's no expenditure of money, so it's, a vote doesn't even need to take place, actually. So, I'll entertain a motion to read Bill 1916-2023 on its first reading by title only.
I'll make a motion that we read, Bill 1916-2023 on its first reading.
By title only.
By title only.
All right, Mr. Bradley, you second that. I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Madam Clerk, can I have the first reading of Bill 1916-2023 by title only? All right. I'll need a motion to approve that bill.
I make a motion to approve the first reading of Bill 1916-2023.
All right, a motion's been made and seconded to accept Bill 1916-2023 on its first reading by title only. Any discussion?
So this is an annual thing we do, authorize the collector to collect our taxes, no?
No, they've been collecting our taxes since the early 2000s, I believe. We actually got this back in February or March, and we were, I hadn't done any, but anyway.
We don't have to collect it, they do it for us.
Every city in the county is having to redo it. I don't remember the exact reason, but the attorney got a hold of it, and every city is trying to make sure we're all on the same board and bill taxes.
Hey,
We don't understand.
no, but Brandon's here, he's read through it, and
Yeah,
I,
we collaborated with Custis, Soto, Hillsborough, Hershey, Heatley, to try and get a collective agreement that makes sense for everyone. And we think we got there. There's still some things we want to change, but we gotta get something on the books, and then we can go back and make an amendment to it. But we're happy with it the way it is.
Thank you.
yeah, no problem. Although I had a motion and a second for that, so all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. I'll need a motion for the bill on its second reading.
I'll make a motion to read bill number 1916-2023 on its second reading by title only.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Madam Clerk, can I have the second and final reading of Bill 1916-2023 by title only, please? I'll need a motion to approve that bill.
I'll make a motion to approve bill number 1916-2023 on its second reading by title only.
All right, a motion's been made and seconded to approve Bill 1916-2023 on its second and final reading by title only. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. I will poll the council. Councilperson Bradley. Councilperson Kempfer. Councilperson Ginever.
Yes.
Councilperson Fisher.
Yes.
Councilperson Winkleman.
Yes.
Councilperson Massa. All right, Bill number 1916-2023 now becomes ordinance 1916-2023. Is that correct, Madam Clerk? Thank you, ma'am. All right, next one is ordinance 1917-2023, an ordinance of the City of Crystal City, Missouri. I don't need to read that. Shelley will read that. I'll entertain a motion to read Bill 1917-2023. Just to reiterate, if anybody ever wants a copy of these ordinances, they're on the back windowsill whenever an audience member comes in, so. All right. All right, I have a motion and a second. You did it, Mr. Fisher. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Madam Clerk, can I have the first reading of Bill 1917-2023 by title only, please?
An ordinance of the City of Crystal City, Missouri, petitioning the County Council of Jefferson County to extend the boundaries of Jefferson County Public Sewer District to allow the City of Crystal City to participate in the sewer district and to consent to the construction and operation of sewer services by the sewer district within the city.
Make a motion to accept Bill 1917-2023 on its first reading by title only.
Second.
Perfect. Motion's been made and seconded to accept Bill 1917-2023 on its first reading by title only. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. I'll need a motion to read the bill on its second reading.
I'll make a motion to read bill number 1917-2023 for its second and final reading by title only.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Madam Clerk, can I have the second and final reading of Bill 1917-2023 by title only, please?
Bill number 1917-2023 on its second and final reading by title only. An ordinance of the City of Crystal City, Missouri, petitioning the County Council of Jefferson County to extend the boundaries of Jefferson County Public Sewer District to allow the City of Crystal City to participate in the sewer district and to consent to the construction and operation of sewer services by the sewer district within the city.
Thank you, ma'am.
Make a motion that we accept bill number 1917-2023 on its
Second and final.
reading
Thank you,
by
sir.
title only.
Second.
All right. I got a motion and a second to approve Bill 1917-2023 on its second and final reading by title only. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Hold on a second.
Yes, sir.
I just realized that I don't see a description of where the expansion goes to in any of this. Is it in the, County Circuit Court, cause number 12JE? You know,
That's a 2012 case that involves the sewer district and
Okay.
So that's old history, that's in one of the whereas clauses if you look.
Right, right. I'm just,
This would allow the expansion of the sewer district in the entire corporate city limits of the city of Crystal City. So we don't necessarily define the entirety of that district, but it's just wherever our city lines are, that's where we would allow the expansion of the district into those lines.
okay, I get it. So, right now, we're not allowed to participate in those areas, even though it's within the city limits?
The sewer district is not allowed to participate
Right.
in those areas, without
Gotcha.
approval, without
Gotcha.
consent of the city.
And we don't have to specify exactly where that is, we're just saying anywhere within the city limits?
Anywhere within the corporate boundaries of the city.
Got it, okay, thanks. Sorry.
No, thank you. I had a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. I'll poll the council. Councilperson Bradley? Councilperson Kemfer?
Yes.
Councilperson Ginever?
Yes.
Councilperson Fisher?
Yes.
Councilperson Winkleman?
Yes.
And Councilperson Massa. All right, Madam Clerk, bill number 1917-2023 now becomes ordinance 1917-2023. Is that correct? Thank you, ma'am. All right, moving on to bill 1918-2023. I'll entertain a motion to read that bill on its first reading by title only.
So moved. Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Madam Clerk, can I have the first reading of bill 1918-2023 by title only?
Bill number 1918-2023 on its first reading by title only, an ordinance of the City of Crystal City in relation to and fixing the general, library, and park revenue funds for the fiscal year 2023-2024 and levying tax therefore.
All right. I need a,
Make a motion to accept Bill 1918-2023 on its first reading by title only.
Second.
all right, I got a motion. A motion's been made and seconded to accept bill 1918-2023 on its first reading by title only. Any discussion on that one? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. I'll need a motion for the second.
Make a motion to, read Bill 1918-2023
On its,
second and final reading by title only.
Second.
perfect. I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on that? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Madam Clerk, can I have the second and final reading of bill 1918-2023 by title only, please?
Bill number 1918-2023 on its second and final reading by title only, an ordinance of the City of Crystal City in relation to and fixing the general, library, and park revenue funds for the fiscal year 2023-2024 and levying tax therefore.
Thank you, ma'am.
Make a motion to accept Bill 1918-2023 on second and final reading by title only.
Thank you. Perfect. A motion's been made and seconded to approve bill 1918-2023 on its second and final reading only, or final reading by title only. Any discussion, questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. I will poll the council. Councilperson Bradley?
Yes.
Councilperson Kemfer?
Yes.
Councilperson Ginever?
Yes.
Councilperson Fisher?
Yes.
Councilperson Winkleman?
Yes.
Councilperson Massa. All right, bill number 1918-2023 now becomes ordinance 1918-2023. Is that correct, Madam Clerk? Thank you, ma'am. All right, let me change pages again.
Make a motion to read Bill 1919-2023 on its first reading by title only.
Second.
Perfect. I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
You think you're exercising.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Madam Clerk, can I have the first reading of bill 1919-2023 by title only, please?
Bill number 1919-2023 on its first reading by title only, an ordinance of the City of Crystal City, Missouri, authorizing the mayor, Mike Osher, to enter into a contract with STO Tuck Tuck Pointing LLC for tuck pointing and brickwork work at 124 Mississippi Avenue for $7,825.
Make a motion to accept bill 1919-2023 on its first reading by title only.
Second.
Thank you, gentlemen. Any discussion on that? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries.
Make a motion to read bill 1919-2023 on second and final reading by title only.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Madam Clerk, can I have the second and final reading of Bill 1919-2023 by title only, please?
Bill number 1919-2023 on its second and final reading by title only. An ordinance of the City of Crystal City, Missouri, authorizing the mayor, Mike Osher, to enter into a contract with STO Tuck Pointing LLC for tuck pointing and brickwork at 124 Mississippi Avenue for $7,825.
Make a motion to accept bill 1919-2023 on second and final reading.
Second.
Title only.
All right, a motion has been made and seconded to approve Bill 1919-2023 on its second and final reading by title only. Any discussion?
Go ahead, John.
Well, I just asked the procedure, wanted to know the procedure for, projects like this. This is a one bid.
No, so we received, Mr. Turner reached out to several tuck pointing companies, only two responded, the other one was almost double this price.
Okay, thank you.
And my question was, I think we budgeted about $60,000 for renovation of that, for our 70?
For capital improvements for City Hall site.
Did we know that it needed tuck pointing at that time? Okay.
And I believe thought it would be more expensive than what it came back as. The first one was pretty high, and then I think Mr. Turner made an additional call to get some other bids in, and then this one came back, so.
Okay.
We've never done anything to the outside of that building. The back half, we painted and tuck pointed and stuff, but you can see some of those, there's probably about 30 other pictures that are really bad.
Yeah.
No, it needs tuck pointing. There's missing mortar, so I get that. All right, any other questions? All right, I had a motion and a second, so all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. I'll poll the council. Councilperson Bradley?
Yes.
Councilperson Kempfer?
Yes.
Councilperson Ginever?
Yes.
Councilperson Fisher?
Yes.
Councilperson Winkleman?
Yes.
Councilperson Massa? All right, bill number 1919-2023 now becomes ordinance 1919-2023. Is that correct, Madam Clerk? Thank you, ma'am.
Make a motion to read bill 1920-2023 on its first reading by title only.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on bill number 1920-2023? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Madam Clerk, can I have the first reading of bill 1920-2023 by title only? Please.
Make a motion to accept bill 1920-2023.
Second.
All right, a motion's been made and seconded to accept bill 1920-2023 on its first reading by title only. Any discussion?
I've got a question about that, and I'm reading this little part of it. If this is already law, why do we need a bill?
If this is already the law,
Yeah, we're doing it in accordance with Missouri Business Public Records Law.
we have to have the council approval to shred these specific documents over on this other page, to my knowledge. Is that correct, Jason?
Still have to have, okay?
We have to have, yeah. And we had to have a letter from Chief Allen.
On the, presiding judge to give us a letter which Brandon sent off today, so hopefully we can get a letter back from her on the court side.
And is this something that happens annually, or how?
When we run out of room.
Oh,
I think we're shredding over 100 boxes.
and then we'll have the shred truck come in. How do we pay per pound for shredding, or how are we charged for, per box? And so it's something that we budgeted for, planned for, to pay per box, okay.
curious if there's already a, public
statute
records
is,
law that
the water statute requires.
okay.
I was wondering if it was like a per hour, you get the truck here and then you can put all you want into the shred box.
They usually come in, so we'll actually, I think Mike is trying to set up some students at the school to get some hours.
Mhm.
Come in and carry these 100 and some odd boxes upstairs, the shred truck comes in, actually dumps them in big trash cans,
Mhm.
and just dumps the
Yeah.
trash can in the shredder, they shred it right on.
Yep, and I've seen that, and my question, the reason I was asking whether it was something that we could open to the public, city residents could come and if they have documents they want shredded. If we were gonna rent this truck for all day and we could throw whatever we wanted in the shred truck, we could do it. But if we're paying per box by 4 hours, then,
That's what we did last time, they may have changed it.
okay. Okay.
That's a good idea. We could always do something like a
Yeah, I know
community service
banks
style.
sometimes do it, and hospitals would have programs where we'd have shred day, and
Yeah.
people could clean out their closets with their shreddables, but it was, and I thought, and Rick may remember better, that we had the truck there, and whatever you brought, we'd cover the cost of getting rid of your things, but,
We do have a couple electronic recycling
Mhm.
tanks, I think we have one coming up in September.
yeah.
But they come here and sit for the day, and people can bring old
Mhm.
computers.
TVs and stuff.
Anything with a cord, and that's how they, yeah.
All right. All right, I had a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. I need a motion.
Make a motion to read, Bill 1920-2023 on its second and final reading by title only.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Madam Clerk, can I have the second and final reading of Bill 1920-2023 by title only?
Bill number 1920-2023 on its second and final reading by title only, an ordinance of the City of Crystal City, Missouri, authorizing the destruction of certain records in accordance with Missouri's Business and Public Records Law, RSMO Chapter 109, and applicable state retention schedules.
Make a motion to accept Bill 1920-2023 on second and final reading.
Second.
A motion's been made and seconded to approve Bill 1920-2023 on its second and final reading by title only. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. I'll poll the council. Councilperson Bradley?
Yes.
Councilperson Kemfer? Councilperson Ginever? Councilperson Fisher?
Yes.
Councilperson Winkleman?
Yes.
Councilperson Massa? All right, bill number 1920-2023 now becomes ordinance 1920-2023. Is that correct, Madam Clerk? Yes, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Make a motion to read Bill 1921-2093 on its first reading by title only.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Madam Clerk, can I have the first reading of Bill 1921-2023 by title only?
Make a motion to accept Bill 1921-2023 on its first reading.
Second.
Okay, a motion's been made and seconded to accept Bill 1921-2023 on its first reading by title only. Any discussion? All those in favor? Oh,
Reason for the delay is just, I've read through,
More time to go through our water. There were some shipping delays, some fork trucks that went through the water we sent them, they've had all kinds of problems, getting this kind of figured out. So they asked for an extension, they hope they have it done before April 2024, but this is the timeline.
Right,
So
okay.
it's all about the water and what they're trying to do with their product.
okay.
all right. Any other questions on that? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries.
I'll make a motion to read Bill 1921-2023 on its second and final reading by title only.
Second.
All right. I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Madam Clerk, can I have the second and final reading of Bill 1921-2023 by title only, please?
Bill number 1921-2023
Make a motion to accept bill 1921-2023 on second and final reading.
Second.
A motion has been made and seconded to approve Bill 1921-2023 on its second and final reading by title only. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. I will poll the council. Councilperson Bradley?
Yes.
Councilperson Kemfer? Councilperson Ginever? Councilperson Fisher?
Yes.
Councilperson Winkleman?
Yes.
And Councilperson Massa. All right, bill number 1921-2023 now becomes ordinance 1921-2023. Is that correct, Madam Clerk? Thank you.
Make a motion to accept bill 2022-2023 on first reading by title only.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on that one? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Madam Clerk, can I have the first reading of Bill 1922-2023 by title only, please?
Make a motion to accept bill 1922-2023 on its first reading.
Second.
All right, a motion has been made and seconded to accept Bill 1922-2023 on its first reading by title only. Any discussion?
Now, one,
Yes, sir.
if we do this, I think we won't have to buy the $9 water from Festus.
We have an agreement or a wholesale rate from J.C. Davis.
If we have to.
This is emergency and actually been working on this pre-COVID. It kind of slowed down with everything and supply issues, so we just got it. And then the owners, the property where we were putting the interconnect sold the house, so we had to wait for him after he agreed one, so we're finally there.
I'm guessing this is a lot cheaper rate than Festus is.
Yes.
If having it or not.
And I asked Jason to clarify some things. It produces a lot of water. Like, we're not limited on how much water we can, I mean, we are by how much they can produce for us in that time, but it's plenty. I'd have to check the,
And our agreement is for emergency purposes only, so if we wanna go back and redo that for whatever reason, we'll have to go back and look at the agreement, which may be close to expiring.
but it allows us to never, yeah, we're gonna buy it right from the source to,
4 times.
exactly. We're avoiding that. And, I mean, it's a good move on that.
And it's about $132,000. Who's paying for that?
We had that out of ARPA funds, I believe.
So we have about $250,000 in ARPA money left. We had budgeted $100 for this, and $100 for East Light Park. So there's money for this.
Oh, good.
And there are multiple contractors that do this work, or is this a single contractor CE construction?
Yeah, no, well, they have a sub for the asphalt, and I think that was it. So we only had 3 bidders on this project.
Okay, but this
And
one's
this
the
was
lowest.
by far the lowest, so the other one.
And have we worked with CE contracting before?
We have not.
No.
And where exactly, how's it gonna connect?
Up off Yidy Drive, I believe, on the west side.
On the west side of Yadi Drive? So,
If
okay.
you're heading north, then it's only, probably 4 houses down there.
Yeah, it'd be
Is that it?
First
Oh,
house
okay.
on the left, the house actually faces Crystal Heights. It's got the privacy fence, it's be along his rear driveway.
Oh, okay, so we're just gonna tap into our existing lines right there
And
and,
their main comes across.
oh, so that's,
We share the same
How much should I
easement going down to like the Honda shop there.
oh, that's not too bad. I thought we'd have to do a completely new line, like, because it had to be bigger or something.
No.
No.
They're all right there. It's just a big pit, basically concrete wall, and then the mechanics will be inside. It's not really that big a job, honestly.
But it's needed because we need to have that access to the Jefferson County Water Authority because, so, short of,
Well, and Hercules, but we're still not buying directly from JCW.
right, to where now we'll be able to buy, and they have plenty of water since Herky doesn't use as much. All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries.
second and final reading by title only.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Madam Clerk, can I have the second and final reading of Bill 1922-2023 by title only, please? Thank you.
Make a motion to accept Bill 1922-2023 on second and final reading.
Second.
A motion's been made and seconded to approve Bill 1922-2023 on its second and final reading by title only. Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. I'll poll the council. Councilperson Bradley?
Yes.
Councilperson Kemfer?
Yes.
Councilperson Ginever?
Yes.
Councilperson Fisher?
Yes.
Councilperson Winkleman?
Yes.
And Councilperson Massa? All right, bill number 1922-2023 now becomes ordinance 1922-2023. Is that correct, Madam Clerk? Thank you, ma'am.
Make a motion to read Bill 1923-2023 on its first reading.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Madam Clerk, can I have the first reading of Bill 1923-2023 by title only, please? Thank you, ma'am.
Make a motion to accept Bill 1923-2023 on its first reading.
Second.
All right, a motion's been made and seconded to accept Bill 1923-2023 on its first reading by title only. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries.
Make a motion to read Bill 1923-2023 on its second and final reading.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Madam Clerk, can I have the second and final reading of Bill 1923-2023 by title only, please?
Make a motion to accept Bill 1923-2023 on its second and final reading.
Second.
A motion has been made and seconded to approve Bill 1923-2023 on its second and final reading by title only. Any discussion or questions you guys have?
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna add some to this.
Yeah, I've lost track of where we are on this. What are we trying to
This is the second
see in
and
compliance?
final. So we're on the DNR compliance.
Of what situation?
So, the situation where we're at on this, Mr. Sullivan, would you answer these questions, sir? Actually, let Mr. Sullivan speak for a little bit. I don't wanna interject too much, but
Okay.
we had an inspection a couple months ago, and, he will fill you in from that point.
Yeah, so, as we're part of a MS4 program through the county actually holds the MS4 permit, which is a stormwater permit. And then the surrounding communities are part of that as co-permittees, so like, Herculaneum, Peevely, Festus, us, we're all part of that, and we get audited. We had our audit, like the mayor said, and they found some issues, with things that are going on that we didn't even have a stormwater ordinance adopted. So, a lot of this that you see here, while it looks like a lot of stuff that we're gonna have to do by a certain amount of time, a lot of those things, once you do one, it takes care of 2 or 3 items on the list. So the stormwater ordinance that you all passed was a huge step
in getting a lot of this taken care of, because that's what sets a lot of these programs that are gonna be taking place. You know, to give you an example, when we're checking outfalls is where stormwater is coming out and going directly into, like a creek channel. So like coming from a subdivision that has a detention pond, where that detention pond dumps its water out into a creek, let's say, we're supposed to be checking those outfalls for contaminants. So, you know, if we find a contaminant, we're checking that for contaminants, and we find a contaminant, then we've got to go out and search for where that contamination is coming from. We had no program in place to check for that kind of stuff. So that's just one example. There's multiple ones on here. I've been working back and forth with DNR since the audit, coming up with days that works with our schedule, because basically we're starting this from scratch. So, and they understand that. They understand that, that this should have taken place. However, they can see that we're very diligent in moving forward with this program, so.
Yeah, let me interject there. It was, I think we had an audit in 2016, and some stuff kind of fell between the cracks. We got an audit this summer, and we didn't have anything in place there. And, just some things, I do want to commend Mr. Sullivan, Mr. Turners, Mr. Eisenbeiss has done a tremendous job on keeping this not as a fine or anything. We have a list moving forward. Mr. Sullivan and I meet weekly, checking with the list, and, we will, from this point on, update you guys monthly and making sure that these are checked off.
Did you have to implement a SWIFT?
Yes, yeah, we're doing that as well. Yeah, that's on this list too. Yep.
So this is all related to stormwater?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
And most of it is just that we did not have any processes in place
That's
to address
correct.
it, right?
Yeah. And a lot of it, at the current time, you know, Hardy's obviously gonna have, participation in all of this, but, a lot of it is maintenance at this point, maintenance related. The developments that we're having, we've got, a couple right now, we're doing some land disturbance. Those, are gonna require this participation, but we don't have a full-fledged, subdivision going right now, so we don't have that kind of stuff going on. So we're lucky that we're not having that going on while we're trying to get this off the ground, so.
You're confident, though, that the deadlines that are set forth in this agreement, we are gonna be able to, all these September 22nd, which is before our next.
Right, and I did those with that date because those are easiest ones to get checked off the list.
Okay.
So, I felt confident we could meet those, in a hurry, and that, again, just shows, the department that we're willing to move forward in a quick manner. And they understand the ones, where we stretched them out and why. We have to give reasons why. You can just give a date and not give a reason why, so, yeah.
No, there were several deadlines that we've been, Mr. Sullivan, Mr. Eisenbeiss, Mr. Turner have been working on to go back and forth, because the first letter that came to us was not working. And, it helped a tremendous amount that we did that stormwater last month. And, we're on the right path now, and, I think we just gotta double check, make sure we're doing what we're supposed to do, which I don't have any doubt of that happening, so. And we picked, for the most part, picked that deadline, so.
Yeah, yep.
So, all right.
Thank you, Rob.
Thank you, sir.
Wait, one more question.
Yes, sir.
So, we adopted what the county has.
Yes, yep,
We adopted also their fees for everything.
yes,
Do you think they're appropriate for the city?
yes, I do, yeah. Yep. I mean, they could, that's something, that part is something that if we see that that's an issue, that's something that we can easily modify.
I think over an acre, $500 to have you look at something to get it maintained, and that doesn't seem right to me in the city of Crystal City. But I could see it in a county where it's undeveloped, no water, no sewer, no anything around, that might be appropriate. I just don't know if in the city, whether that be something we have to look at.
Well, yeah.
You know, there's a couple that are higher than that as well. If you have, granted, if you have 10 acres, I
Sure.
understand you're gonna have to do a lot of, but yeah, it's, what is it, below an acre is $200?
Yeah,
And above an acre is $500 just to have it looked at by the city.
right. There's when you get to that acre point, the drawing capacity goes from, you know, let's say that's below an acre, that's now an acre.
So it's a lot more information, a lot more stuff put into it, as far as controls, and that's why it's there.
What were we doing from 2016 to now?
Very little. We were, and. Right.
We've got subdivisions that don't even have sewer drains in.
That's, no, basically, we were doing, land disturbance of anything over an acre, but we were issuing a permit, and as long as the roads weren't getting tracked up and nobody complained, we were good. There's just a lot of stuff that we've gotta keep track of, making sure the stuff stays on their.
We're getting a policy in place and we're following through. And then monthly, we're gonna have updates on this.
The city as an entity has to follow these guidelines as well.
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
So we've got major problems out throughout the city.
On stormwater? I mean, that's what this is, and these are our timelines with the city, not residents included. This report is only the city, the parks, and, I mean, it's extensive to where we're gonna redesign the website. We gotta do a better job of, reaching out to public. So, yeah, I mean, it pointed out things that we need to do, and
As a city or as residents?
as a city, this has I mean, it does have stuff to do with residents if they're gonna develop, but this piece of, this,
Keep in mind, we're not going retroactive and going back to a subdivision that was built. Right. The only time we would do anything with that, like I said, earlier, was if somebody's, goes out and dumps a 55-gallon drum of oil into the,
Subdivisions are dumping water on the private property.
Yes, yeah.
How do you address that then?
Well, that one's difficult, so, that's not really part of this, per se, because this has more to do with, development and contamination processes, not just taking your stormwater pipe and putting them all together and taking them by your neighbor and letting the water go over there. That's a whole different area, which we have stuff that we can take care of that, but we don't here.
nope, no worries. All right, that was our discussion part. All those in favor say aye. Thank you, Mr. Sullivan. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. I will poll the council. Councilperson Bradley?
Yes.
Councilperson Kemfer? Councilperson Ginever? Councilperson Fisher?
Yes.
Councilperson Winkleman?
Yes.
Councilperson Massa? Bill number 2023 now becomes ordinance 1923-2023. Is that correct, Madam Clerk? All right, we have a resolution. A resolution, Shelley, we don't take a vote on that, I just have it read one time, correct? Okay. If you would read resolution 4-2023 to us, please? Oh, I need a motion to read the resolution.
Motion to read resolution 4-2023.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Madam Clerk, can I have the first and only reading of the resolution by title only?
A resolution of the City of Crystal City, Missouri, the city, stating the intent to utilize the design build method for the development of infrastructure to community-based parking building projects, new fiber cement building materials, production facilities, and on directing the city administrator to prepare and submit documents that are necessary to the design build document process.
All right, so,
Make a motion to accept resolution 4-2023.
Second.
all right, all those in favor say aye. Any opposed? All right, hearing none, motion carries. City Administrator report. You have that on your desk or in front of you. Do we have any questions for Mr. Eisenbeis?
I just had some discussion on there about changing the, dates for the November and December council meetings to the Christmas parade and the Christmas holiday.
I'll entertain a motion to reschedule our November and December council meetings. Do you have the exact date? Oh, you do. November 20th,
Be done November 20th, I can tell you that right now.
that works. And then, our December council meeting needs to be moved to Monday, December 18th. So I'll entertain a motion to move those both dates.
So moved.
Second.
All right. I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Jason, you have anything to add on any of this? All right, mayor's report? I've moved on. Mr. Turner, you have the floor.
So, last year, year before last, I guess we bought a new backhoe for the water department. And since kind of taking over and seeing how that new backhoe works, I don't think it fits our city, our department, and the things we're gonna have to do with it. It's big, takes up whole front yard, whole city street, sidewalk, whenever you use it. It's a little overkill for what we need. So I reached out to John Deere and offered to see if they would do some trade-in for a smaller backhoe and a mini excavator, which would benefit the water department a lot more than what they have. So Saturday, 5 o'clock, they finally give us some numbers. It'd be $158,000 for the trade-in for our new machine they'd give us. With a new backhoe, new mini excavator, the city would have to pay $35,000 out of pocket, and that covers warranties, all that stuff, and then we would not pay for anything out of budget until next year's April budget. So we'd have the full time to put in our budget and work it out, so. And I did get some other bids from John Deere, or from Case today. They were cheaper, but they do not have a trade-in bid yet, so that's why I didn't turn nothing into you about that, so. Along with this John Deere thing, after August 31st, the prices do go up for next year's new budget stuff, so I guess in all, I'm asking approval to move forward with this.
Because they have to order the backup, so we would think that they get it ordered if we take delivery next budget year.
But we don't know what Case will give us for trade-in either, though, right?
So the Case backhoe, which is their low-end 580S, I believe, it was around $105,000. The Takeuchi, or whatever it is, I don't know what it is.
Takeuchi, they're good machines.
Was $56,000. John Deere was $55,000. The Case was $56,000. So the excavators are around the same price. John Deere's backhoe is $20,000 more, but I don't know apples to apples if they're the same machines yet. Because Case did not get us nothing until today at 4, so I really haven't time to go through the spec sheets.
Was the $158,000 what they were giving you for the one you had?
Yes, and we paid, with a trade-in and everything, about $168.
We traded in an old backhoe.
We traded in, but we paid $110 for the machine, and then with the,
$210.
or $210, I'm sorry, with the trade-in, it ended up being like $168, so.
What's the remaining equipment? Do you have mostly John Deere equipment already?
So we used to be Case, and then Case they had an electrical issue, so we kind of transitioned to John Deere. And then we did, many of you are probably aware, we did have some issues with the John Deere backhoe we do have now, but they seem to think that it was a computer on a different, not something they manufactured, it's something for our rock breaker that we had to retrofit to the new machine. And since they've disconnected that, our machine hasn't had any issues. So that was one of our big kickers on that, so. Yeah, we're just trying to switch it over because, and Case was not the cheapest on the last bid, so.
I don't have a concern mainly on that. You guys need equipment,
Yeah.
but like, we're moving to like public works instead of just water and street.
Yeah.
Like, I want one cohesive unit.
I get that, you have a trailer to move, or will you need
The street department, we have 2 utility trailers, so in the meantime, yes, in April, I would ask for another $5,800 to buy a utility trailer with it. For the new Mini X.
For the new Mini X. And the Mini X is going to be a lot more efficient than,
Yeah, and the water department uses the street department at least 2 to 3 times a month. It's just bouncing back and forth. That's something I think, originally we wanted to get a skid steer, but after we all talk, I think the Mini would be more beneficial to the water department than a skid steer, so.
and we have a John Deere skid
Yeah, we
steer.
have a John Deere skid.
I mean, it's just, as long as we're not redundant on it and we're using them at different
That's
times.
something that's more available to float around versus a mini excavator.
our current case back on the street department is.
It's rough.
Yeah.
But we only use that for salt
So,
and,
yeah, and any big storm projects, so.
so,
Motion to approve.
Second.
alright, I have a motion and a second to approve the purchase or to move forward. How do you want that worded, Jason?
Yeah, that's fine, to move forward.
Just to-
Allow for
to move forward on ordering the two machines.
Like I said, once I get something back from these two, I'll let you guys know about that price.
Oh, you can just send us an email, I mean,
Yeah.
I know I got a motion and a second on this, but, if we have John Deere equipment, I would rather deal with one dealership than be,
100%, I just wanna make sure, I'm not trying to persuade anybody to a certain right now.
No, I wanna need to check to make sure.
no, I agree.
I wasn't happy with the first trade-in, getting down $3,000 more, so this is about what we're gonna get out of John Deere, but I wanna do something with these. And we're good on budget money for it, no problem.
That's for next year budget too, so. All right, well, moving forward, I had a first and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. All right, Mayor's report. I would like to appoint Carrie Dink Friedmeier to take, Ward Two's council spot. I'd entertain a motion. I need a motion.
Make a motion to appoint Terry Freemeyer for Ward 2 councilperson. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Mr. Friedmeier, will you step up? If you wanna come on up here, and then Shirley will get you the oath.
Did you tell him about the tattoo? We call it tattoo up here.
You get to pick.
I know it's Kay. So it's up to you. You want me to carry? That's fine. Okay, here, you wanna teach me?
Yeah, use that.
Can you say this?
Go ahead, just say this.
You'll repeat after me.
Okay.
I state your name.
I, Carrie Freemeyer,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I possess all the qualifications
that I possess all the qualifications
for the office of Councilman Ward Two,
for the office of Councilman Ward Two.
that I will uphold the Constitution
I
of the
will
United
uphold the
States
Constitution of the United States
and the state of Missouri,
and the state of Missouri,
the provisions of all laws of this state,
possess the provisions of all laws of this state,
affecting cities of this class,
affecting cities of this class,
and the ordinances of the city of Crystal City,
and the ordinances of the city of Crystal City.
so help me God.
So help me God.
All right, we're back to full council. We will need a nomination for Mayor Pro Tem in the event that I am absent. Anybody have any Mayor Pro Tem nominations?
How would, you and Jack are the seniority guys, would you be interested? Well, I'll make a motion.
I'm not gonna, put myself up, but.
I'll make a motion that, for Ken for that position, Mayor Pro Tem.
Second. Make a motion for Jack, see who wins.
You have to make it difficult.
I have a motion. Well, I guess we vote. I have a motion and a second, but you were joking, right? Okay. Okay. I have a motion and a second for Mayor Pro Tem. For Ken Bradley as Mayor Pro Tem. All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. There we go.
You're not gonna follow me my chart,
All right, I got some Twin City Days coming up, the 7th and 9th. We got our cobblestone event, we have, on the 8th, we got the Blues Festival.
Blues on the Brick. The story behind it, I'll be very brief, but, the city of Festus, the Parks Department started having the Blues and Funk Festival. They ran out of people to run it, and the city took it over for a couple of years, and they decided to eliminate it, so they could move funds to another event. So we were gonna kind of restructure our party on the cobblestone and call it Blues on the Bricks, and have blues bands and see how people like that. So this year we have, Jeremiah Johnson, who's like the biggest blues act in St. Louis right now, and, the Neon Blues Band, which has been opening for him throughout the region. So, anyway, that's what we have coming. We have 4 food trucks this year, which is more than usual. So I think it'll be a great time. Hopefully, everybody will come out and enjoy some blues.
Excellent. School's back in session, so just traffic, be cognizant of the kids coming in and out, walking, going to school. Our fire department on Friday did a great job, and always do a great job of, public presentation down at the fire, or football field. That was nice. It's a small town, and, I like that. It did good. Our police officers have increased time in our schools, quite a bit. We're trying to work towards a SRO officer, and, our officers are spending, quite a bit of time at the school. So I appreciate that, Chief Helms. And, that's it. We're continuing to make improvements. You can see that from all our ordinances. Jason, everybody, all our workers are staying extremely busy on things. So keep up the good work from my end, and, I'll go to roundtable. Councilperson Bradley. Councilperson Kemfer. Councilperson Ginever.
I got something, I always got something.
Okay.
I actually practiced making those motions because I didn't know if anybody else would do them, so I'm really glad that Ken and Rick took over those responsibilities, because the old council person, Tony, used to do those all the time, so. Yeah, Tony and David, he's not here either, so.
I know, it's changing of the guard.
Yeah. And, we could've used Dink in that last discussion about all the equipment, so I think he'll be a very useful council person. Glad to have you aboard. I wanted to mention something about the Girl Scout house, that was in the, city administrator's report. It did turn out pretty good. I'd like to say I had something to do with it, but Clayton Lowry really did, like, a lot to get that thing going, and for an 18-year-old kid to get that much done, and, like I said, it helps when your dad has a box truck too, so. The Historical Society's moving along. We actually, got a spot on, KJFF every month now too. It's gonna be the second Thursday of every month at 10:30. We're gonna have a spot. Can we talk about everything that's in your mayor's report, or your, city administrator's report? There's nothing. What is Marshall spaces to be delivered to R.L. Jones? Does that mean?
By R.L. Jones.
Oh, by,
So it's supposed to deliver to Marshall, from my understanding, on September.
So Marshalls could start moving in on that date.
okay,
That's not when they're gonna open, but that's just their,
okay, so R.L. Jones is letting them use it from that point on?
yeah, that's when their
Gotcha.
lease
All
starts,
right.
to my understanding from,
That's what my last email said, that they have to deliver, or are supposed to deliver the white box, which is the store.
Okay.
and last I heard, Marshall's wanted to be open sometime in September. Is that correct, Mr. Sullivan? Okay.
All right. And that other piece of knowledge here about my neighbor at 26 Mississippi, it's been vacant for over a year now, but, I guess the mayor and Jason found out that Notting Hill's wedding venue in Peevely was real interested in it and has a contract on it. Yeah, so I've got my fingers crossed on that one. I think that'd be a good thing to do. And if you think about it, with them, I actually visited, the Ursuline Academy building out there, and they've done a lot. Have you been out there, Jason?
I think your pictures you both on Facebook.
Did you? Oh, yeah. They have done a lot of work with that place, and they're gonna do weddings out there as well, so we could be the wedding capital of the world.
Hey, we're gonna be a destination city for that, for sure, and it's gonna
I
build
think
up,
you're right.
and, I really think it's a good thing, 'cause, I know the nunnery or whatever it is up there.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah.
Novitiate, yeah.
Okay.
And Mrs. Casey that.
I'm sorry.
there as well.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Okay.
It's amazing up there,
When do
and
you hope to start with weddings?
yeah, I don't think that's the right one.
That's not who I thought it was.
You're all right. I was like, I'm missing out here. Yeah. Yeah. Perfect.
Jeff, here, you want my glasses?
All right.
Just one more thing.
Yes, sir.
Twin City Days, so have we made a formal invitation to Hardy at all? It'd be nice to say, you know, you're welcome to come out and party with us if you want.
It's a good idea.
And that's all I got.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Friedmeier.
I just wanna thank everybody for allowing me to be up here. I'm glad, and I'll try to do the best I can to help the city.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That works. Councilperson Fisher?
I'd like to welcome Dean for both in the same ward, and, glad to have you aboard, Dean.
Thank you.
Councilperson Winkleman?
Just a couple things, sir. The water department was up Monday at hydrant in front of my house, and it was 100 degrees and 100% humidity, and the first guy there, Chris, hand digging, was sharpshooter, hand digging the new valve, to replace the valve, and the crew came up, they got all the work done, they cleaned it all up, and did a fantastic job, and within just a few hours, we're up there, got the valve all replaced. It was impressive work.
How's the word on it?
And then on the compliance agreement, I know we signed every ordinance came around, but it looks like we also have to sign the compliance agreement?
Yes, everybody needs to sign.
Yeah, that's on the backside.
Is it gonna come around
Mm-hmm.
at some point, or we have to stop by and see Shelley, or?
We need to stop by and see Shelley, because I don't have that.
Actually, we need to get it to them tomorrow.
I don't have a copy.
Should be attached to the ordinance.
Yep, it is.
Have to have it to them tomorrow.
Who's not on it, guys?
No,
Uh,
two
it's-
different things. So we signed the ordinance on the ordinance, but we also have to sign.
It's the back page.
Agreement that are on.
Yep.
That's all.
Perfect. That's a good one. Councilperson Massa?
It is really nice having the police officers in the building, so it's just not a cool building. I think I don't know what officer it was, but I thanked him for being in the school, and I said we're really happy to have him there, and he said really happy to be here too, so it's nice to have that, and the students really like it.
Perfect. And I
Thank you, Chief.
called the superintendent today, and we're working on a spot for them to have a spot, so they're not just roaming around, they have somewhere to do some emails and things, so, I'll meet with her tomorrow, and they should be good to go. So, all right. All right, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I have a motion and a second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, we are adjourned. Thank you, guys.
Robert, you're supposed to sign this too. Yep.
John and I worked together for years, and I had to approve everything I said.
I have him proof things at school all the time.
He's the first guy.
I mean, I can't, I was planning on
I
it.
gotta go. Okay, well, I mean,
You gotta go right now.
yeah, I gotta go to the county tomorrow, so I'm gonna take some of the money.
Oh, you're good.